Daniel Palencia got another crack at closing, and he got the job done yesterday. But is he ready to be the closer for the Cubs? We're going to talk about that on the show today. Drew Pomeranz quietly has been solid for this Cubs team. Out of nowhere, they went and got this guy from the Mariners minor league system. And that could be the Tyson Miller find of the year, another guy they plucked from the Mariners. And the Cubs, not last game, but the game before that, scored 14 runs. And that was an historic game for the Cubs offensively. One of the best offenses in baseball. So we're going to get into that as well. So like, subscribe, thumbs up, hit the bell. Everything that you Cubs fans know and find easy to do, and everything that a Cardinals fan is just scratching their head. That's why we're looking down at them right now. And it's a great place to be. Go Cubs. What do you say, everybody? Welcome to the Cubs Baseball Channel. It is Mick Gillespie, and I appreciate you guys being here as we hang out at Broadcaster Mick on the socials and try to put out content every single day. So the Cubs go to Miami. It wasn't, I wouldn't say an easy series win, but it was a series win for the Cubs. They could have swept, but they blew the save a couple of nights ago. And then Daniel Palencia came back out, and he got the job done. Is he ready to be the team's closer? Well, first off, Palencia has closer-type stuff. I don't think that's ever been a question. 77% of his pitches are fastballs. The other 20% are sliders. His fastball has just great velocity, right? I mean, he averages 99.1 miles an hour. That's like 76% of his pitches, according to Fangraph, of his fastball. And then he throws the slider. He hung a slider a couple of nights ago, and that's why the Marlins were able to beat him. And he didn't mess around with them in yesterday's game. He took care of business. So the Cubs lose that game they should have had, and then they blow them out, and then they win a tight one. Matt Shaw taking advantage of an opportunity, got on base. Look, the guy that did a show on this yesterday, the guy feels like he's ready to be a part of this team. But with Porter Hodge out, and basically Jed Hoyer saying, look, we're in a spot right now where they're not making trades, and we're not making trades until the middle of June. We got to work internally to figure out, what things are going to look like for this club. And I feel like Daniel Palencia, to me, has been the guy with the best closer stuff that the Cubs have right now, AAA or the big leagues. But the problem is the killer instinct. It feels like he gets the first couple outs, and then he just kind of messes around, and then he doesn't, and then you turn around and you're losing to a last place Marlins team with 2 outs, a 2-out double, walk, and then another double. He didn't do that last game. He came in, and it feels like Craig Counsell is like saying to him, look, this is your job right now. You just need to go get it. And that also tells me that the Cubs are moving away from Ryan Pressly as the closer, and that they feel like they're in a spot where Pressly just wasn't getting it done. And so he's kind of out of that role, which makes a lot of sense to me. But is Palencia ready to be the guy? And I don't know the answer to that. Although I will tell you that I really like the way that Craig Counsell works with young players and instills confidence, and I think that's a thing that, felt like to me, that was missing with David Ross. I felt like that there was just too much tension. And when you needed somebody to come in there and get the job done, the young players would get up there and not succeed. Joe Madden was the exact opposite. You get players to the big leagues, and those guys were so comfortable and felt like they were part of the team because he did such a great job of making them feel that way. Craig Counsell isn't Joe Madden, but he's got his own way of doing things. And I got to tell you, the young players are responding, and it is exciting to see kind of the way that some of these guys are performing. Pete Crow Armstrong, we're wondering right now, is he really going to contend for an MVP? Matt Shaw's back. and it feels like he's ready to turn the corner. Cade Horton pitched in the game yesterday, and he looked like the Cade Horton that I thought he would be. He's still getting better every time, but it was a hell of an outing for him. And, Miguel Amaya, what he's doing, the young players have to step up for this team to contend. And right now they're contending, 10 games over 500, looking down at St. Louis and the rest of the pack, and heading into Cincinnati for a showdown with the Reds. And that's going to be an interesting matchup because we got to know if this team's going to be able to beat the teams in their division. They did it already, but they didn't last year. Can they continue that? This will be the first matchup with Cincinnati this year. But is Palencia ready? If he is, it could make this Cubs team a whole lot better and give them, more capital to go out and make moves, right? Because right now we feel like we got to have a closer. But most teams' closers are internal players. And this is an internal guy. Came up through the system, has the stuff. No, it's just now going out there and being aggressive and being hungry and confident, making pitches and getting outs. So he gets the save, and we'll see if this is something that he's able to build on or if it's a one-off and he continues to struggle. The Drew Pomeranz trade might turn out to be a brilliant move by the Cubs. Remember, he was in AAA with the Mariners and had that option to get out if he wasn't on the big league roster, and the Cubs swooped in there and they got him. And the guy has been great. I mean, you're talking about first-round talent, right? He was drafted in the first round by Cleveland, 5th pick overall in 2010. And he was a stud at Ole Miss and had a great career, and then was injured in 2022, and he's been MIA. Until this year. How about the fact that he's got 11 appearances and he's given up 0 runs? You're talking about 10 in the third innings, 4 hits only with 2 walks and 11 strikeouts. The guy was primed to get back to the major leagues and make a difference. It almost feels like he's an Andrew Miller type of find for the Cubs, where he is a difference maker that is kind of like a candidate maybe for comeback player of the year. We'll see. We got a long way to go. We're only talking about 11 appearances, but I love the fact that the guy's out there and through 11 appearances has not given up a run, and he's giving the Cubs bullpen some more options. And he's one of the reasons why the Cubs, even with the injuries to Shota Imanaga, who we'll expect back in June, and Justin Steele, who's out for the year, and now Porter Hodge, have not skipped a beat yet. And the schedule is a little softer than it was at the beginning of the year. So you kind of feel like, hey, maybe with those guys out now, the Cubs can hang in there. But hats off to that signing by the Cubs and the trade, whatever, to get him, and then his performance and helping that bullpen out. Use our promo code CBC. That is for the Cubs baseball channel. $5 for first-timers. Get you $200 back in bonus bets. I've talked about this. I love horse racing. It's fun for me. And I had journalism. He beat my other guy, Grosher, in the Preakness. Now I got to wait for the Belmont Stakes, but you guys can take care of it as well. And use our promo code CBC, where $5 gets you $200. They say baseball season is a marathon and not a sprint. And that's great news for us because there's so many games to bet on. Don't miss a second of the action with my partners at DraftKings Sportsbook. From every game day until the champagne pops and the trophy is lifted, DraftKings Sportsbook has got you covered with same-game parlays, odds boosts, and so much more. There's something special for first-timers. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use our code CBC. Cubs Baseball Channel, CBC, the crown is yours. Stay in on the action and use your $200 in bonus bets on DraftKings same-game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. Combine multiple bets together from the same game. Love the thrill of live betting? DraftKings has got you covered. Bet live on in-progress games right as they happen, making watching the game that much more exciting. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. you can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Pick 6 and have a shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers, use my promo code CBC and bet $5, just $5 on any wager and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code CBC, Cubs Baseball Channel, CBC only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Again, we appreciate DraftKings for hanging out with us here on the Cubs Baseball Channel. Again, Cubs off today, and then a big weekend series against Cincinnati. Pretty exciting when you talk about the way that this team's playing. And I want to tell you this. This was a stat that Sarah Langs brought up. This Cubs 10th. This is the Cubs' 10th game with 10-plus runs. Okay, I got that right. That's the most such performances in their 49 games since 1898. 11 times they've done it. How about that? In 1898. This year they've done it 10 times. This offense is, honestly, it's better than I thought it was going to be. I didn't appreciate how good Kyle Tucker was when they made the trade. I knew he was good. I didn't realize how good he was, what a difference maker he's been. You got Pete Crow Armstrong coming into his own. You know, those two guys are electric in the lineup. Seiya Suzuki's putting up great numbers. Nico Horner doing his thing. Dansby Swanson's hitting. Miguel Amaya's hitting. You know, you're just getting a lot of production right now. And when these guys get rolling, you better watch out. They remind me of a beer league softball team with a bunch of former, like, baseball players on it. Like, and they're playing against, like, church-level competition. The way that they turned it around Tuesday on the Marlins and turned that game into a blowout so fast was phenomenal. But I love it. And I think that this team has built an identity. That identity is that they're coming at you. They're going to score runs on you, and that you better make good pitches. Now, I know that Wednesday's game was a 2-1 final, but they found a way to win that game too. And I want to say this. It's not just about the blowouts. One of the biggest issues I've had with this team over the last 3 or 4 years is those close games when runs are hard to come by. How are these guys scoring? How are they doing it? Because a lot of times they weren't. Last year, remember all the shutouts? They found a way to score a couple of runs, to scratch a couple of runs across against the Marlins on Wednesday. The late business end run turned out to be the difference in the game. You know, getting those 2-out singles to drive in a runner from second. Hey, I'm going to walk. I'm going to get on with an error. I'm going to steal second base. Makes this team dangerous. And that's why they're 10 games over 500, even with all of the loss that they've had so far as injuries go on this roster. So anyway, look, that's where we are right now. Great, again, to talk to you guys. Get in the comments section. Tell me what you think. Love reading the comments. Give us a thumbs up because you're Cubs baseball fans and you love talking Cubs. And we'll do it again tomorrow. We'll get you ready for Cincinnati. 3 games, 3 different game times. Let's go. Great America Ballpark. We've had a lot of success there. All right. Hey, shout out to Kyle Schwarber. Schwarb's with the Phillies now. Over 300 home runs in his career. Hit the 300 mark against the Rockies. Did that on Monday. Boy, I wish he was still on the Cubs. Kick yourself for not having that guy locked in. And in his early 30s, the guy has a chance to hit 500 home runs. And you look at what he's done since he's joined Philadelphia. Yeah, interesting to see. I'd love the Cubs to figure out a way to bring him back. Anyway, congratulations to him, and thank you guys for hanging out. Again, like, subscribe, thumbs up, and again, CBC, our promo code, that stands for Cubs Baseball Channel. When you use it, $5 on new players, gets you $200 in bonus bets. So do it, take advantage of it, and we will talk to you guys again tomorrow. And from the bottom of my heart, I say this. Go Cubs.